we're live, kind of.
Howdy, howdy, everyone. This is Random Nerd.
Opinionated.
Welcome to
And
another
welcome to
episode of
Truth.
Truth Talks.
It does. It does. So, before we hop all into Edward Snowden, what's been going on this week?
Well, for a positive, the Congress, U.S. Senate finally got their act together and passed the spending bill legislation to reopen the government.
Finally.
So, right? How many days?
Wasn't it like 63 days or was it 53 days?
I was anticipating breaking 50. No, it was officially 43, technically 42 in 23 hours, but 43 days altogether.
Okay. I knew there was. I was close.
Yes. I mean, a month and a half, 43 days.
You know what? I'm gonna fact check. Isn't it technically the longest the government's ever been closed?
It is. Now, people want to blame those who are quote unquote in control. So both House and Senate are Republican controlled. They both have Republican majority. With that said, on a civics level, because this is a civics item, the Senate, and we can dive a little bit into civics in a later episode. But civics, to get past the filibuster, which pretty much shuts down any type of voting legislation, there is a voting rule of 60 votes.
Mm-hmm.
I believe 51 Republicans hold majority.
Yeah.
At the time, 3 Democrat Senate seats voted for the spending bill. That was about 53, 54 votes, which means an additional 6 to 7 votes needed to officially pass the bill.
Yeah.
Now, here's, and I share this in my own podcast. For those listening, criticalthinkingnerd.com or on Podbean podcast platform, Critical Thinking Nerd Podcast. I share this that, you know what the issue was? The issue was that the Democrat Senate, the Senate Democrats were using us, the American taxpayer, as leverage for their own money laundering with health insurance companies through none other than the AC or Affordable Care ACA, Affordable Care Act, also known as Obamacare.
Yeah.
And basically, it is a cash pipeline. It is a revolving cash pipeline to and from the health insurance companies and the the congressional Democrats, because we all know that they're involved.
Right.
It's an infection.
It's an infection on both sides, not just me.
Correct. And I want to make that very clear that while the Senate Democrats are responsible, it is both sides of the aisle.
Absolutely.
Just with different sectors.
Like, I honestly, what I thought out of this week and the things that were going on, like I'm glad the government's open. I am glad.
Right.
Not gonna lie. Because a lot of people's lives were literally just kind of put on hold and put people into a very much panic. And there was a lot of fear mongering, especially from the Democrats. But anywhoosies, another thing that happened is, I think it happened today or yesterday, where Trump has completely gone against Marjorie Taylor Greene,
He
which
has. I saw that.
it kind of blew my mind, and it really makes me like question everything, of course, and I love to do that anyway. But Marjorie Taylor Greene was huge Trumper. Absolutely. But she also is very against AIPAC and Israel. So I'm wondering if like that's the key motivation for this.
It's definitely something to dig into. Um, and not comparing, but she would be the
She's the Candace
who's
Owens
the
of the government. Like, let's be real.
yeah. She she and Trump have been butting heads for a while, and it was just a matter of time, to be honest.
Yeah.
Um, as far as APAC goes, I mean, it's widely known now.
Right.
Widely known. And it's actually what we were talking about on the APAC episode with
Yeah.
the Tucker Carlson and Ted Cruz interview.
Right.
That if you're not basically if you're not holding allegiance with Israel, then through APAC they will campaign an opponent. And
Yeah.
that's actually what happened up in that's the other thing. New York
New
City
York's election.
mayoral election.
Oh man. Oh, I gotta tell you about this. Uh, So a bunch of states just had their, election, mine included. So you want to know a fun fact about my state election, which is Massachusetts?
What's that?
My town, which happens to be the reddest town, had no vote this year. I had nowhere to be able to vote for Massachusetts this year. I,
No,
I'm not
what's your
making this up.
oh, I was gonna say, what's your congressional or your state representation? Because
Um,
this actually dives into the gerrymandering a little bit.
oh, well, like, I don't want to put out too much information. Um, people be
Share what
crazy,
you want. Yeah.
but I'll definitely go over that on like another conversation, like me and you. But yeah, it actually had me like legit pissed off because, and I called a couple of places to try and figure out, and they were like, "Oh no, like you're not here." Yeah, and I was like, "Well, where do I go?" Um, like because usually it's the high school over here or the
Yeah.
town hall. And neither place was doing it. And then I called the state over and called to see if I was supposed to go, or not state, town over, to see if I was supposed to go there. And nope, they told me no. And I was like, well, where am I supposed to go? And they literally had no answers for me. And I was livid because I was like, so I just don't get to vote because they're not doing. And I thought it was really weird because literally my area is the reddest area, like over here. And then I started to look up other different counties and towns, and there was a lot that were left out that just didn't get to vote, which I think is really freaking weird. I I'm building a theory, guys. That'll be being unopinionated, but whew, it had me really like ticked off. But yes, it is a fact. I was unable to vote this year.
Crazy times, that's for sure.
Right? So, oh gosh. Which, you know, when was a crazy time? Crazy time in our history was 2016 and WikiLeaks dropped.
It was definitely a crazy time then, too.
It absolutely was. And I feel like there was a lot more division then, and a lot more people who are like, politics are just pointless. Like, friggin' who cares? Did you know? You know, here, I'm gonna look it up because if I can find it, I will put it on the screen. Let's see.
And those that are listening, we both of us are actually have the capability to do live fact checking at this episode. So just bear with us on during certain times as we do some live fact checking and letting and sharing that with you.
Right. Let's see. Um, let's see.
On a separate item, for those listening on my Critical Thinking Nerd podcast, for those that have listened, I just wanted to share a nice little milestone. So recently, Thursday, I believe, Thursday morning, my podcast crossed 1,000 listener downloads. It may not be much in under a 2-year period. It may not be much, but for me, it means a lot. So thank you for your listening ear. With that said, you know, keep sharing the podcast, and I would love to. I would appreciate any subscriptions. Um, come be my podcast friend. I do this for you. It's a passion project, and I want to share that with you. So thank you.
I love that. So let me see. Oh man, of course, that's not what I want. But there has been a time. I'll have to find it because I can't find it right now. It's all like
What's
giving
your
me
sir?
Bible verses. um, but so a couple of years ago, friggin' Jesus won the election. He got more votes than anybody else. That's just a waste of your vote, guys. Just so you know, that makes it easier for them to cheat. Mickey Mouse has won before as well from write-ins.
Oh, did you know? So I think it was a local election, but there was a D's Nuts actually
Yep,
won a local election.
that was
I
Pennsylvania.
in Pennsylvania.
I think it
D's
was.
Nuts.
D's
D
nuts.
yes.
But like to me, because I was talking to somebody about this the other day. To me, that's a huge waste of your vote because and it makes it easier for them to cheat because nobody's going to question when Jesus or Mickey Mouse or Aladdin or Jafar doesn't win the elections, you know?
I wanna I think I'm the opposite. I understand what you're getting at. Um, I do feel that you as a voter, you have the right and the ability to write in your own candidate,
Right.
even as far-fetched as it may be. Does it take your vote away? Does it give your vote to someone else? Indirectly it might, but if your core beliefs, if the candidates and their policies do not align with your core beliefs, you have every right to write in your own candidate, and that is the beauty of the United States election system, that we don't have to vote for those on the ballot. We can write in our own candidate whether it might be a bullshit candidate, we have that ability. And
Right.
again, does it swing your vote indirectly one way or the other? Yeah, I mean statistically, but again, we're talking about facts and of course principles. So
Right.
I'm gonna oppose that. I'm gonna counter that.
Who's that? All right, all right. I just like, to me, if I see like 400 votes for Jesus Christ and nobody's gonna miss it, I'm gonna change those votes. Like if I'm evil.
No, I get that. I get that.
Right. So that's how I see it. Because who's gonna complain? Who's gonna complain? Who's gonna really dig into it? Oh, did my vote really go to Mickey Mouse? Like, so that's how I see it. But like, I don't say, I'm not saying like I don't think people should have that right. I'm just saying, bitches, you dumb if you doing that.
Okay, okay. Is it comical? Yes. Is it going to
Right.
help anything or anyone in the election? No. So I understand. I get it.
Mm. So now that we're snowballing, let's let's start going on to Snowden. Edward
Snowden
Snowden. Oh my gosh. This
already.
this
So
man.
um
Go.
let me give a brief overview. This is coming from Britannica Encyclopedia. For those who don't know, Uh, Edward Snowden is an American intelligence contractor and whistleblower who in 2013 revealed the existence of secret, wide ranging information gathering programs uh, conducted by the National Security Agency, NSA. The case highlighted a host of issues, including the secret use of government power, privacy in the digital age, the ethics of whistleblowing, and the role that the internet and anonymous browsers on the dark web, such as Tor, can play in facilitating such whistleblowing. Basically,
Miscellaneous when you're talking. Go ahead.
in simple terms, Edward Snowden was a intelligence contractor, not an employee, but a contractor he was essentially trained by the CIA and through his own morals and ethics blew the whistle on government use um, programs. One in particular called Prism. Uh, Basically, it's a wide range information gathering tech, technical tech program, software program. NSA has used, probably upgraded to something bigger,
Oh, yeah, definitely.
and basically violating the Fourth Amendment of unlawful searches and seizures. Now,
Cool.
with that said, there is some legal nuance of how and why these intelligence agencies can gather information and prosecute you. But with that said, this was before Snowden exposed it. This was before he leaked the unclassified document or the classified documents. All of this was during that time. So the and to real quick to share some more information, I'm doing a U.S. Constitution series on the principles of the Constitution, and I'm actually sharing on how all of this began. My th- my the series starts with 2001 New York terrorist attack on the World Trade Centers and how not just the president but Congress essentially eroded the principles of the U.S. Constitution.
Yeah.
And Edward Snowden just happened to, be a intelligent tech um, developer. There we go.
Right.
And through NSA, he exposed the government's program use.
Yeah.
So, long story short, the government and probably uh, knowing knowing knowingly, it is known public sentiment. It's hard to expose it without evidence, but it is known public sentiment that the government is spying on you, regardless of your constitutional rights, plain
Right.
and simple. So, with all of that said, Edward Snowden, his last known location is Russia. I think he's still in the process of seeking us. He's already sought asylum. He's in a permanent alien resident of Russia.
So speaking of Russia, I got it up on the screen right now. There is the spy files on Russia, and oh man, that is an interesting document, or documents. But I think that's honestly why he's been allowed to stay there. Like I really do.
And that makes sense. I'm pretty sure his allegiance is and will always be to the United States. I mean, he did what he did, out of his own morals and ethics as a U.S. citizen, first and
See, I think
foremost.
I'm going to challenge you on that because I think it's to the people, and it doesn't matter where those people are. It's just his loyalty is to the people, and especially somebody because I mean, uh, I have. Hold on, let me bring it up so I can make sure that I
I'll
don't mess
actually
with
agree
what I'm
with you on
saying.
that one. No, and you're right. It is to the people, just like we are. Um,
Right?
our allegiance is to you guys, to the people.
Absolutely.
And it's not so much a country allegiance, it is just to the people. And mine has always been the principles of we the people. And that's who I
Hmm.
stand with. I stand with you. I stand with everyday people, whether it's American, Russian, if it just happens to be Venezuela or Palestine or even Israel, it is to the people.
Right. Absolutely. Like, and I find it really interesting because he didn't really work for, like, because he was a contractor, but he worked with the CIA for at least 3 years, at least, like, documented. That's how long he was, contracting through them. But I have found a couple of things that kind of dictate that, because it looks like he was still doing jobs for them when it came to the programming and stuff like that because of his job through Dell. So
Yes.
so he didn't just work with the CIA for 3 years. He basically worked with the CIA until he became a whistleblower because he worked. He in many different interviews. He talks about, because one, there was a lot of slander that he didn't really know what he was talking about. He's not that big of a computer guy, but he was their highest technology consultant in the CIA and the NIS. Or no, I'm saying that wrong.
NSA.
NSA. Thank you. I noticed immediately. I was like, brain fart. Did not did not say. Um, but he did so much work. He worked with NATO. He worked in Romania. Like, he has done so much stuff all over the world through government contracts through the CIA with his job at Dell. And I think because with his history, I'm looking at it right now. It says literally that he only worked for the CIA for 3 years, but yet when you when you look into what he did with Dell and his computer works, that's what the CIA used him for the most. And somebody who isn't very smart is not going to be able to drop WikiLeaks.
No, and that's the other thing is, so I actually have an article. I'm trying to get my uh, information moved around a little bit, but I have an article that shares that. So and people, when we do our research, we don't look at 2025, 2024, no. I genuinely look for historical articles. So
Right.
his stuff came out in 2012. Um, I'm actually doing research on articles in uh, 2012, 2013, 2014, right when it first came out.
Yeah.
So I think one of them is from 2013, and you're right. All that slander is exactly what it is. It's slander
Slander.
because not only was he a top consultant, he knew what he was doing. And for anyone who has watched the movie Snowden, he was top of his class.
Mm-hmm.
And this is an essential part of tech development, of software development, of any kind of intelligence development. You're not looking for brute force.
Right.
You're going to be wasting time. In the movie, it shows of how he skipped over a few things and then just included some extra, his own shortcuts. That's what he did, and utilizing his credentials as a uh, analyst and as a developer, um, IT, you never ever ever want to mess with IT
Yeah.
because
Right.
they can mess with your, and this isn't a fear mongering. This
I was
comes with any job.
right.
He utilized his credentials of saying, I have a project, I need your credentials with his fellow coworkers. That's
Mm-hmm.
exactly what he did, you know. And through that, and this is from an article in 2013, through that, um, what he did is he basically asked his coworkers, "Hey, I need your credentials for a project," and then he subsequently accessed through those coworkers' credentials, and basically, yeah, he did steal the keys to that to other areas. But with
Mm-hmm.
that said, all that slander is exactly that. It's slander because he is a top-notch tech individual.
Absolutely. Like he literally worked for the CIA and all in the NSA, all about computer work, like and saving documents. And he says in an interview that he was given the biggest problems, tech problems, and he was there to figure it out and make it work, um, and fix all the problems from literally all over the world. Like he went all over the world doing these computer programming for the CIA. Like, and I mean, under contracts with Dell, but still, like he basically worked at the CIA, like doing their computer work. They and I'm trying to freaking find it, but they talk about, or he talks about his turning point basically, that why he ended up leaving Dell and leaving everything was because he watched his bosses lie under oath, and he about what was really going on, and he basically got pissed and decided to do this WikiLeaks, which, I mean, even how that happened kind of just blows my mind, because one, got to be a hell of a lot smarter than me. Two, the fact that, because like we've had whistleblowers in the past, to drop things. There's been hints. People were already interested in Clinton's emails before the drop. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
people were already in like wanting to know, because there were other people kind of saying this and saying that. And the fact that he dropped it and it went so viral kind of shocked me a little bit. Oh man, sorry. I'm reading and talking, and it's blowing my mind because I keep reading stuff about all of these different reporters that did these stuff with him. They were either Al Qaeda or Islamic State kind of stuff, and just brings it all right back to everything's
Yes.
connected. Like, and it's mind blowing, and what he found and what he leaked has really drastically affected our government. And what has it been, like 10 years? Like
Yeah.
just like, yeah. And it's mind blowing to me that people, one, still don't know about this. It's like, what? How do you not know about this?
Right.
Like, especially because once it came out, like everybody was talking about it. And to me, if someone, like, if I was a bad guy, if I was big bad Meg, oh my God, that's hilarious. Anyway, um, if I would not allow this to happen. Like I would do everything in my power to slow this down and not let it get leaked. But like outlets from Sweden, Canada, Italy, Netherlands, Norway, Spain, and Australia, basically they broke the story. Like, so all of these different countries were spewing our secret documents, which,
Yes.
I mean, I'm glad that they did. I'm glad. But like, that's where honestly, I do a lot of my research in from other countries because they usually tell the truth more than ours.
Yes. So can you see the screen?
Yeah.
Okay. So it says dark reading, correct?
Oh, hold on. There we go. I got you.
All right. Cool. Cool. So this is the article that I was mentioning. Dark reading. Uh, from, as you can see, November 13th, 2013. And what do you know? What, 12 years and just a few days. So this was months right after the leak
Yeah.
from Dark Reading. And this is through Brave browser people. So Snowden, yada yada, former Booz Allen contractor. And you can research that, who Booz Allen is. Um, And meanwhile, General Alexander, yada, yada, yada. Here's where it gets juicy.
Ooh.
This is exactly what I was explaining. He took his credentials, asked his coworkers for theirs on a quote unquote project, and then cross reference he fabricated extra keys. We're not talking about some medium level
Right.
tech guy. Snowden knows his tech. He knows cryptography.
Right. We're not talking about our tech guy.
Right.
Love
This
you.
is here it is. So insider threats, yada yada yada. So as you can see, so like I said, we're doing live fact checking. This was an article that I found, and you can pause and read. I'm just scrolling down, but as you can see, Snowden knew his stuff. So all that slander stuff that you might hear about, this is it, people. This is that article, or one
Right.
of many articles during that time.
Right.
This was actual facts. This was actual journalist reporting, not the propaganda that we have today. And none of this article would make it out the door. It's all slander and propaganda in today's reporting.
Right.
Here it is. Here it is. So social engineering. So basically, just being a coworker, and saying, "Hey, I need your help because I've got something done." There's that trust that's taken advantage of. When it
Mhm.
comes to intelligence, when it comes to any type of government work, you can have all the credentials in the world, and if you're an honest, how do I say this? If you're an honest employee, you have nothing to worry about. But with
Right.
Snowden, he had a moral obligation, a moral and ethical obligation to share this information, to leak it out, to whistleblow.
Right.
And then here's some more. Whether Snowden fabricated credentials isn't clear. It depends on what access those other users had. So
Right.
again, this is just asking, hey, I'm I'm working on a project and I need your help. Can you help me out? Can I have your credentials? So on and so forth.
Yeah. And I mean, honestly, like he was their high level tech guy. So, like, how much higher credentials could these people have than him? You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. And especially when you're at such a high, it's not that people won't question, but they don't always have I mean, the president, he has authorization to look at stuff. Does he have access of need to know?
Right.
That's what these other coworkers had. Snowden had the quote unquote authority um, authorization, but he didn't have these specifics of need to know. So that's where he utilized his administrative uh, level.
Yeah.
And then Kelly Jackson Higgins is the editor in chief. So there's that. And this is through Brave, people. Brave browser.
Yeah.
So we don't bullshit you. You know, You may
I'm
think of
open.
us as crazy a little bit, but we don't bullshit you. I just showed you a piece of our research.
Right. And I mean, I got more. I got more, especially when you look into, as I said, other countries' news about it, because they're the ones that broke the news. Because I guarantee they were stoked to talk shit about the United States. Like, and there was a lot of shit to talk because there's all of the stuff that he leaked about how they're listening to us, they are monitoring us, and then there's the emails, then there's the whole trans project that he leaked. That's pretty crazy. Oh, like
Oh,
there's so much tea in the WikiLeaks.
question on the WikiLeaks.
Yeah,
Should I share about a project that I've been chatting with you about? Should I
yeah,
share
do
about
it.
that?
Yeah,
Okay.
do
Um, so I have a vision project, but it's not a
it.
vision.
Vision board. We'll have our IT guy make it. It'll look like a poster board with all of our ideas.
So you've got those that are listening and watching. I have this vision, this idea to share with you an encyclopedia of all known and publicly available declassified material. I say that again. I have this idea to create a encyclopedia of all available declassified material. You can take
Honestly,
that idea. You know what? I'm not looking for recognition. I'm not even looking for credits. If we can bring the information to you that you can read and comprehend at your level, that's what I care about.
right, right. Like,
And I'm
and
actually oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say we could even have a section of all the information, but then have like a subpar section to dumb it down for some people.
Yeah. And
Like,
we're not saying that you're stupid. We want to help you understand.
right,
A lot of this is very even having a hard time trying to understand the level and severity of these programs and
they're
what we're both reading. It is some dark stuff.
right, especially like with the animals, like that really
Yeah.
puts me on edge.
Yeah. So
And go ahead.
um so I have an idea. I am trying to contact some individuals that have already shared declassified material, but it is it's going to be a project. I don't know how long it's going to be to build one, but
We will definitely keep you updated once we know more, because
yeah,
that I feel like is a really big project, but I really, really want to do it. And I know the IT guy, Mr. Wispy, will definitely be down and just figuring out how all of that works. Honestly, also hit up the email guys if you have ideas or want to help or even come on the podcast. Like, hit up that email, please.
yes. And we I know that we share that this isn't for cloud. It's really not.
No, I just want to be famous.
I mean, Joe Rogan, you got him.
Right. Like I want to be the, you know what? I want to be the no, because Candace Owens is kind of the female version of Charlie Kirk. She can have that.
Yeah,
Mm.
well, Candace, bless her
She,
heart, and
she
I
gets
hope
in,
she,
she gets
she
into the fun side like I do.
yeah, she she's taking away the fun though. I mean, by all means, go Candace, but she's kind of taking away the fun. Just
And
a little bit.
see,
Um,
I
Go
think
ahead.
it wouldn't be fun, if she was like, the number eighth podcast in the world. But it's definitely fun because she's number one.
Right, right.
But
So we're
go
we're
on.
doing this as a hobby. We really enjoy. I just showed you part of our research.
Yeah. And there's so much more to be done. Like, and I have no problem doing like another deep dive, I guess, into like exactly what was dropped from, WikiLeaks and going through like that website as I was showing earlier for the people if you're just joining now. I scroll through it so you can see all of the different documents that he dropped. If you haven't, gone on there, that's probably the best source to get those documents is the wikileaks.com. But I personally believe Snowden's a hero. I think he risked everything, um, just so that people would know how corrupt everything was. And I think a lot of stuff started because of WikiLeaks, like a lot of the conspiracies or, the independent researchers because of WikiLeaks. Because once they dropped that, that showed how untrustworthy everyone was. So ask questions, y'all.
Never stop asking questions, even if there is no stupid question.
There
It is it
definitely
is
is
your
stupid questions, but there is always good answers.
correct. There is never a stupid question. It is your level of understanding. The more you
That's
question, the more you start to understand.
right.
Oh,
Absolutely.
and as an addition to my podcast on critical thinking nerd, uh, if you are interested, I have a critical thinking nerd workbook, and it's basically just a generalized workbook to talk about to print off and talk about anything that you want to talk about. Uh, it does share some philosophy quotes, and a lot of this kind of dives into uh, psychology a little bit because you kind of begin to understand the hows and more specifically the whys of how everything works. So it's there on my Beacon's website, criticalthinkingnerd.com. It's available for purchase for $10, but it is there for you to um, download and just it's to build your own critical thinking. What we're
Get
doing. Oh, go ahead.
I said get your skills.
Right. Um, I do this because it is my vision to rebuild critical thinkers. That is my vision. We have children in public schools, criminal behavior, engaging in criminal behavior against teachers. That was unheard of back in the 70s, 80s, and 90s, even in the 2000s.
Really?
I mean, you had spots across that, schools and communities could get away with stuff, but nowadays, I mean, you're talking about throwing desks, beating up, assaulting teachers, engaging on campus criminal behavior and getting away with it. Take the Austin Metcalf case.
Oh yeah.
I mean, we're we're a society of outlaws. I hate to say it, and it's really heartbreaking to see big cities becoming the Wild West, the old school Wild West of outlaws.
Right.
So what we're doing, this research, we're just sharing it with you because we want to share the information.
Right. Like, and it's important. It really is. Like, and all of this shit is relevant, even though it's over a decade old. It's relevant. It's relevant to everything that's going on. It shows the absolute corruption of our government, which is still corrupted.
It is. I mean, you stepping into politics for a moment, you have Senate Democrats using the American people as leverage. And I shared this in Tolerating Corruption episode. They are using you, the American people, as leverage. That is what is criminally known as ransom. They
Yeah.
were engaging in a 43-day hostage situation. And this isn't even me making up words. It is their own words of using us as leverage. Senate Democrats using us as leverage. That is criminal behavior. That is criminal activity.
Right. And it's like another thing, like with all of the leaks and all of the proof, like, what happens?
Last
Like,
Saturday, 10%, the FAA announced 10% of commercial flights canceled and or delayed. 10%
gee,
because air traffic control workers, they weren't getting paid. So they were forced um, forced to work, furloughed, or they just straight up resigned or quit because they, just like you and me, you know, we all have our own lives to live. And if we're not getting a paycheck, if we don't have an income, Meg, do you want to work for free?
I mean, I kind of already do, but yeah, I do not. I do not.
I mean, I've already known that we're financial slaves to this revolving rat race. But I mean, United States Congress held United States Senate Democrats for 43 days held the American people hostage. And we, the people, allowed it to happen. I don't know about you. And by all means, I have my own grievances against the Democrats and the Republicans. It is both sides. With that said, the United States Congress is compromised. Plain and simple.
Literally, literally.
I mean, they're for 43 days, and we're not talking about just the Democrats. The United States Congress itself is not representing you, the American constituent.
Mm.
Um, the APAC, you have APAC, pretty much foreign allegiance. You have insider trading. You have, because I say insider trading, Nancy Pelosi, who just resigned, mind you, beautiful, beautiful stock portfolio. Um, congressional oversight committees to how many different sectors? Ted Cruz, all of these individuals, they are bought and paid for. Lobbies, um, foreign allegiance, APAC with Israel. That's a separate item. You have um, what else? Socialism. New
Yeah.
York City mayor. You've got to put it out there, and I share this in another episode on my podcast. United States Congress is a working oligarchy under the guise of the U.S. Constitution. I'm not. No, let me repeat this. United States Congress is a working oligarchy under the guise of liberty and constitutional policies. I am not saying the US Constitution needs to be erased. I'm saying those in the US Congress are compromised. They hold the power. Again, I share this in another episode. US Congress has unchecked power.
Yeah.
Election every 2 years. But what happens in those 2 years? Exactly what we just had, a United States historical record of 43-day government shutdown. Unchecked power.
Right.
So when we share this information about Edward Snowden, about Israel, about the inner workings of the CIA, its history,
Right.
we're just amateurs at this, but we're doing the research.
Right. And I want to, before we cut off soon, I want to mention Julian Assange as well.
He needs to
Um,
be released and pardoned.
he needs to be pardoned. Trump,
He needs to be
fucking
pardoned.
pardon him and Snowden. Like pardon
Yes.
them both. And the fact that he had like he probably watch he will the friggin' last day he's in office. Um, but I really think that he should pardon both of them because that is how we found out all of the corruption. Because we've been talking a lot about like WikiLeaks because WikiLeaks has all the information from Edward Snowden and Julian Assange. So like he was the one who built WikiLeaks, with Snowden to drop that information. And it's mind boggling that one, well, I guess it's not really mind boggling, but these two guys get all of this information, worked with people all over the world because our government wasn't going to help them. So they worked with Russia, they worked with Switzerland, they worked with Romania, they worked with all kinds of different countries to help get this out and boost it, which is how it got viral in the first place. Sorry, that's my spiel. But I
No,
think we should definitely do an episode more on Julian Assange, who is, I believe, still locked up, right?
to my knowledge, he's still locked up. It would be national news. It would be global news, honestly.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Uh,
Be-
Chelsea Manning is so Chelsea Manning, a transgender under Bradley Manning. So before she transitioned, she was a army soldier, convicted court-martial, July 2013, violations of Espionage Act, pretty much leaking classified information, and locked up Leavenworth, and then she was actually in a death sentence, charged with 22 offenses. Long story short, she was pardoned by Obama. So I mean, same level, different year.
Right. Okay. So Julian Assange is out of jail.
Oh,
Just a fact check us as of last year. He
oh,
was out in June. I guess he was released.
yes,
So that is good. He is back in Australia.
okay,
So so he at least but he should be pardoned. He should
yeah.
be.
His name should be cleared. Granted, his reputation is tarnished, but at least clear his name.
Right.
I- we're doing this on the same level that we want you to be informed.
Right.
We're what do we have? I'm not going to say we're nobodies, but we don't have any status to hold. We don't really have any credentials to back us up. Just our voice and our research.
Right.
So do with that information as you will, but we hope that you find value in our podcast and especially in our research that we share with you.
Definitely. And once I figure out the mic drop, it'll all be in there. All of it. I don't even care. It'll take you forever to go through it, but I don't care. I don't care. Because there's so much to learn, and this is something I actually was talking to somebody today about. Jesus literally told us that knowledge is power. So
That it is.
it is.
Well, we hope that you enjoyed this episode on Edward Snowden. I hope you enjoyed the article that I shared with you. Um, Meg, thank you once again for your amazing research as well.
Of course. And we all know. I'll share it in the Telegram group if anything. So
Go ahead.
I'm definitely going to share because I have an article up, but I don't. I want to read from it, but I don't think it's YouTube friendly.
It's all
So
good. It's all good.
we'll definitely be posting that um in the Telegram group. But yeah, we'll see you next week. What the topic is, we don't know. We'll probably find out Saturday before the show. Because we're good at that. But it'll definitely still be on this same topic. I'm not done with the CIA. I don't think you're done
Oh,
with
we
this either.
barely even scratched the surface.
There's so much more to talk about. So much, everything's connected. Like
Everything is connected.
once we
And
talk about
I have my
neutrality,
own theory on that, but that's for a later episode.
definitely. But for now, we'll see you next week, and have a great night, and hit up that email and let us know
Until
how you
next
feel.
time. Until next time, people, for truth, transparency, and fairness.